Thank you, Darren Verde, and a special thanks to Mr. Forrester and Ms. Crossley for being here, and Ms. Garces on behalf of the Department of Energy. We know in Florida, we're in a great transition that's happening with climate change, making more extreme heat and having more intense hurricanes and rising seas. We have an obligation to act. And so I was honored serving on the Energy and Commerce Committee to work to help draft the Inflation Reduction Act, the largest investment to combat climate change in the history of our nation, to protect clean air, to protect clean water. And so we're so excited to have our friends from the U.S. Department of Energy, Office of State and Community Energy Programs, specifically Senior Advisor Michael Forrester for this grants webinar. Through the Inflation Reduction Act, there are many opportunities as well as the infrastructure law, among other areas. And so we're excited to have our amazing team at Department of Energy here today to help out with so many of our local governments and nonprofits and others who may be eligible for some of these grants. So thank you, Mr. Forrester, and the floor is yours, and appreciate your service to the nation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And really want to say thank you, everyone who is participating in this call today. And thank you, Representative Soto, and all of your staff for putting on this webinar, inviting DOE here. It's really a really good opportunity for us to talk about a lot of the innovative work and opportunities that are taking place in your district, across Florida, and across the nation as a whole. Next slide. So really, I'm here today to talk about the programs and resources that can be of use to you and organizations and communities across the district. So I'm in a group here in the Department of Energy called the Office of State and Community Energy Programs. We call ourselves SCEP. And really what SCEP is, it is a new effort by the Department of Energy really to enhance and expand the capabilities of states and local governments, as well as tribes. Really, we want to bring forward high impactful clean energy projects. They're going to both invest in our Justice 40 communities, our historically disenfranchised communities, to help invest in our clean energy technologies, to create an environment where these investments can flourish, good, clean, green jobs can take place, and the community can really start to see the enhanced economic benefits that take place with these types of programs. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you as a community member, as a community stakeholder? Really, it means that DOE is investing in you. DOE is investing in your communities to make these programs a reality, so that when you look around, when you walk around your neighborhood, when you speak to your friends and your family, they can name things that DOE has done to make clean energy a reality, to lower their energy bills, to make their homes more comfortable, to increase availability of electric vehicles. And so that's what we're really going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some of our formula grants. We're going to talk about some of our competitive grants and some of the technical assistance programs that SCEP is bringing forward really to help the community. Next slide. So when we talk about these federal funding opportunities, we're really talking about three big buckets of opportunity. First and foremost is our annual appropriations. These are programs that are funded every year through the congressional budget process. We're talking about investments from the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed a couple of years ago, where we're really looking to invest in our clean energy infrastructure. And then, of course, we're talking about investments that were also passed through the Inflation Reduction Act. And when we pile all of these together, SCEP is overseeing approximately $16 billion across these three different pots of money, across annual, across infrastructure, and across the Inflation Reduction Act. We're offering approximately 28 different programs that are made available to states and to communities through both through competitive process, through formula grants, through technical assistance, and through direct rebates to households. So these budget bubbles that you're looking at here just really represent some of those pockets of opportunity and investment that were taking place. And really, I want to draw attention to a couple of the big ones here. First and foremost, and we'll be talking about these, is the $8.8 billion investment through our home energy rebates, making energy efficiency technologies more affordable for households. For our $3.5 billion in our weatherization assistance program, what is it? We got $750 million in our state energy program. We're investing in the states to administer programs. So really what this slide is trying to illustrate, that there really is an opportunity for you as a household, for you as a community member, for you as a municipality, or just a resident of the state and Community Energy Program Office is delivering programs that you can take advantage of. Next slide. So a lot of our funding goes from DOE to the states, and then the states administer those programs that you can take advantage of. So two of the programs that I want to talk about right now is our historical weatherization assistance program. So our weatherization assistance program has been around since the 1970s. This is a low-income retrofit for households that really help increase energy efficiency, reduce energy expenses, and improve the health and safety in the home. So when we're talking weatherization, we're talking air sealing, we're talking insulation, we're talking improving the general building shell so that it can be more resilient against temperature swings and reduce the overall expenses that a household is facing. Since 2015, Florida has received approximately $25 million from the Weatherization Assistance Program, resulting in over 2,200 homes weatherized. Our state energy program is where we are actually, we are investing in the Florida State Energy Office. And the State Energy Office develops programs to bring forward to help that clean energy transition. An example of that is that the Florida State Energy Office created a low-income residential energy efficiency grant program. So this grant program provided funding to a number of counties, but specifically in Orange County, they launched a program where they saved over 160,000 kilowatts of energy, saved homeowners over $20,000. Really a program that has developed and impacted people where you live. So since 2015, Florida has received approximately $16 million from the state energy programs. A couple of our other programs that we do run through our state energy offices, and we'll be talking about in a little bit, is our home energy rebate program, our program to enhance building energy codes. And when you raise energy efficiency codes and performance codes, you're really raising the floor at which buildings need to be built to, so they're able to perform better. We have our Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant Program, which funds local projects. And then we have a number of training for residential energy contractors, because we know that if we want to enhance our clean energy future, we need to make sure that we're investing in our clean energy workforce. Because those are the ones that ultimately are going to be doing the jobs. They're going to be running the wires. They're going to be insulating the homes. They're going to be the ones conducting the energy audits. And so we need to make sure that we have a robust energy workforce. And so SCEP is working with the state of Florida to make sure those programs are available there as well. Next slide. I also want to bring your attention towards some investments that we're doing at the local level, because we are the State and Community Energy Program Office. So particularly, I want to draw attention to our Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program. So this is a program that has invested approximately $550 million across the country, and it's a formula allocation for municipalities and tribes so that they can design and implement their own clean energy programs. This is only the second time that this has been funded. The first time was in 2009 under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. But this is a direct allocation towards a lot of municipalities and really gives them the opportunity to shape where that investment goes. So if your community wants to invest in electric vehicles, wants to invest in building retrofits, wants to invest in new technologies, energy efficient, the EECBG program really is a great opportunity for them to take advantage of. We also have a play on local codes and zero building energy codes. This is a competitive opportunity for municipalities with code-making authority to really have a chance to stand up and improve their local energy codes, their local building codes. Our second round of concept papers were due here June 28th. Full applications are due later in the year, but this is a program that we see continuing to have another round probably sometime in the fall. And then finally, we also have our training for residential energy contractors. Again, this is an opportunity for local, it builds upon the state investments, but it gives an opportunity for local workforce development programs in partnership with apprenticeship programs, in partnership with nonprofits, to really take advantage and move their existing programs even further and to further invest in our clean energy workforce. Next slide. I want to take a little bit of time to dive deeper into our EECBG program, because this is a formula grant program that really provides those flexible funds to our states and territories and local governments. Again, its purpose is to promote that energy efficiency and conservation programs. But when we look at here and in the investments that we see across Florida, really you're starting to see that investment take life. So for EECBG, there's a direct state allocation of approximately $3.5 million. But in Florida as a whole, 150 different local governments are eligible for funding with on average, that investment of being approximately $160,000. So 105 local governments have an opportunity to take advantage of this EECBG program. Now, those grants range from very small awards to very large awards based on the overall size of the local government. But it's definitely something that I want to make sure is on people's radar, because the application for that program closes here in October. And it is also available to tribes as well. So for tribes, there are 2 tribes within Florida that are eligible. And so we want to make sure that those tribes also take advantage of their allocation. The tribal allocation is a little different than the local government allocation. The tribal window closes here in May of 2025. But we just want to make sure that that people are aware of this opportunity and this special opportunity to have this formula awards. Formula awards means that the money is there waiting for you. It is set aside if you are deemed an eligible entity, that money is waiting there for you to apply. You don't have to go through a competitive process to get it. You just need to make sure that what you're applying for has one of our 14 different eligible use areas. And really, when we think of an eligible use, it's a very wide spectrum. We're talking solar installations, community solar, electric vehicles, energy efficiency upgrades, really anything that's going to move us towards that clean energy transition. And so we want to just make sure that people are as they apply for these funds, they're not applying competitively, but we want to make sure that what they are proposing to do is indeed eligible under the rules of this program. Next slide. I do want to highlight, I mentioned that I had some deadlines in there of October 31st for local governments and May 31st for tribes. But I also wanted to put up here are a number of the communities that we've yet to receive an application for in the Florida area. So if you are a member of this community, or you are a leader in this community, I really want to again take this opportunity to highlight the EECBG program, and that essentially you have money on the table waiting for you here, so to help you in your clean energy transition. So if you've not applied for and you have questions, I really encourage you to reach out to our EECBG team. They can help provide you the guidance on their application and help to get the word out into your communities. Next slide. We also have a number of competitive programs for communities. I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to plug these programs as well, because these are very wonderful opportunities that hit two different audiences. So our local government energy program, our SCEP, really is a program that invests in small to mid-sized communities. It's an opportunity for communities to build capacity, to spark local economic development, to invest in their workforce. And so it's approximately $18 million, the first opportunity, the first FOA opportunity, the first funding opportunity closed May 31st, but this is annual funds. So this is a program that we plan on offering annually. And so we want to make sure, just even right now, that people are aware of this program and they see that there's opportunity that they may have missed. They may have missed it in May, but it's a good chance for you to take a look at this program and start to develop for the next funding round. I also want to flag our Energy Futures Grants program. This is really one that's around partnerships, regional partnerships, community group partnerships, partnerships with local government and utilities. And it really is designed to create place-based investment to support our local, state, and tribal governments as they develop partnerships to really push forward innovative ideas. We want this to be the tip of our spear. We want people to be thinking about, how can they do the power sector different? How can they do the building sector different? How can they do the transportation sector different? How can they move all of those sectors forward towards this clean energy transition? But what are those barriers that are in place? And also, how are they bringing along all of their partners in the community so that they're rowing forward in the same direction? So we announced this opportunity in April. But again, this is the Energy Futures Grant is an annually funded program. It's one that's going to come back year after year after year. And so we want to make sure that communities especially are aware of this opportunity as it comes forward. And they have the chance now to start to build those partnerships, to start to reach out with those place-based organizations. And both of these programs give our small, mid-size, and large communities really the opportunity to shape what a community needs for a clean energy transition. So I want to make sure that these are on people's radars here. Next slide. So we've talked a little bit about the EFG. I don't think I need to go on this one too deeply, but again, highlight the desire for partnerships, highlight the desire for working with the communities, and highlight the desire and need for the community to step up and say what they want to do for the clean energy program. I think both SCEP and EFG really give the opportunity for the community to determine what they need for their clean energy transition. This isn't, I'll be frank, a lot of government funding opportunities are the government saying you must do X, Y, and Z in order to be competitive and receive funding. Both SCEP and the EFG is a little bit more open-ended. and really is about fostering that interaction and that conversation and providing funds so that that action can then happen. Because we know that the clean energy transition is going to look different in different sized cities, in different states. Everyone has different building stock, different priorities. And so we at DOE want to make sure that we have flexibility within our programs. So if someone has a good idea, they have the opportunity to make it happen instead of trying to fit a program into, or instead of trying to fit a need and a funding opportunity in or need a community need into a government program. We're offering that flexibility where we're fitting a government program into a community need. Next slide. So in the EFG program, we have four communities within Florida. We're actually selected for funding. Each of these communities received approximately $500,000. And then they'll also have the opportunity to compete across the EFG programs for 10 awards of approximately $1 million each to even further the investment. So we had teams in Orlando and Clearwater and Gainesville and in North Miami really come together. Particularly the city of Orlando is leading a partnership with Orange County, the Community Dreams Foundation, the Homeless Services Network of Central Florida, Orlando Utilities Commission, and really they're putting together a program that's focusing on reducing energy burdens in the lowest barrier affordable housing. So again, this is an example you can see here of not just the community leading forward, not just the utility leading forward, not just a place-based organization leaning forward, but people working together across silos to address a community need. So we're really excited about Orlando's opportunity and Orange County's opportunity here in our Energy Futures Grant program. And so over the next year, those planning exercises will start to take place, and the program will start to be stood up. So really excited to see where that goes. Next slide. I also want to make sure that I have the opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the work that we're doing with the state energy offices as they're preparing their applications for our home energy rebate programs. So our home energy rebate programs really are, don't quote me on this, but one of the largest investments in the American household since the New Deal. We have approximately $8.8 billion that will be going out across the country to the state energy offices. Those state energy offices will then administer these rebate programs for households as they choose to upgrade and invest in their homes. So the total allocation for Florida is close to $350 million, and that's actually split into two separate rebate programs. Our home energy performance-based, or our HOMES program, is one that focuses on energy reduction in the home. So if you're able to make improvements to your home that reduce the energy consumption of the home by 20%, you're eligible for a $2,000 rebate. If you're a low-income individual, that rebate is doubled to $4,000. And if you're able to reduce the energy, energy consumption by 35%, the rebate is doubled as well. So while there is no income requirement to take advantage of the HOMES program, it is incentivized to help low-income individuals. Our second program is our home efficiency electricity and appliance rebate program, or our HERE program. This really is a lot more prescriptive, and it focuses on specific technologies. So if you're replacing a hot water heater with a heat pump water heater, if you're replacing an HVAC system with an efficient heat pump, if you're doing air sealing or insulation, you need to do a circuit breaker upgrade to support these types of things, electrical wiring, induction stoves, heat pump dryers. These types of technologies, as you put them in your home, if you're below 150% of the area median income, you could be eligible for a rebate. So we are working with the state of Florida to, on their applications to help bring these rebate programs forward. I do not have an exact timeline for when those rebates will be rolled out, but we anticipate them coming either later this year or early next year. So really, it's going to be a great opportunity to both invest in your home, to make the energy efficient choice, the budget conscious choice, to improve your comfort and general overall health, indoor air quality as well. Next slide. These are just some tools that our office offers here. So we, in addition to offering direct funding opportunities, both to the states and to local governments, we offer a significant amount of technical assistance as well for communities that are really looking to help understand the energy burden of their community. I would highly suggest you take a look at our LEAD tool. This allows a community to look at a census tract level, approximate energy burdens across their community, and they can take that information and they can help design and build energy programs. They can target outreach. If you as a community wanted to target rebate opportunities to specific census tracts, this would be a great way for you to see where your highest energy burden is. So I would really encourage people to take advantage of our LEAD tool as well. Next slide. Finally, I just want to make sure that people have the opportunity to connect with us. We do have a newsletter, our State and Local Solutions Center newsletter. We have over 33,000 people signed up for that, our State and Local Spotlight newsletter. We also maintain our State and Local Solutions Center, which is where we have a lot of our case studies, a lot of our resources that people can utilize. And then I also just want to, as a final, I wanted to flag that we're in the process of standing up our Office of Community Engagement. And our Office of Community Engagement really is designed to be the front door to DOE. We like to say that while it's powered by SCEP, it serves all of DOE. And so we want this to be essentially the navigators as communities have questions about programs of DOE, as communities have ideas and are looking for funding opportunities, as they're looking for partnerships and technical assistance. We want them to think of the Office of Community Engagement as an opportunity to help navigate not just SCEP, but the DOE as a whole. So with that, I know we wanted to close and have some time for questions. I just wanted to make sure that I took the time to thank Representative Soto, thank his staff, thank all of you for the work that you're doing in communities, and know that we're a resource here for you. Know that there is an opportunity for you and that we have a lot of programs and technical assistance to meet you wherever you are on your clean energy journey. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back over and have the opportunity to answer some questions.
Thank you so much, Michael. I will stop recording.